Well, you want to pull this car out of the trailer?
Yeah, let's put it on.
Well, today marks day 3 in Tallahassee, and we're done. We got here Easter Sunday afternoon, checked into the hotel, and we put the car and the trailer in the old Courtesy Oldsmobile building with the tremendous aid of Mr. Mike Wester, who owns that building. Monday was the big day. Monday we met Jeff Leckinger, the original owner of the car, on the 55th anniversary of him buying it at that location. We had Scott Warmack from Trans Am Depot there. Of course, Mike Wester was there with his beautiful, beautiful little Nova. Reporter from the local paper, photographer, realtor. It was a cool day. Joe and I were really, really humbled. Of course, Rich and Ken were a tremendous help. They've been escorting us and running blocker for the trailer like the snowman. And I tell you what, man, this has been a collaborative effort like no other. It's been a lot of work, and boy, so far it's paying off. But we're gonna get moving this morning. We're gonna grab some breakfast. Hopefully we can catch up with Scott at the Trans Am Depot shop here quick. He said to give him a call this morning before we leave. We'd like to run over there and just check his place out quick. Scott came yesterday to the building that was the dealership. He came to South Monroe Street in Tallahassee to help celebrate the whole thing with the OG yesterday. And we hit it off. He really liked the car, he really liked the story, and he said, before you guys leave town, if you got time, you're welcome to stop over. So we texted and spoke on the phone this morning. Excited to see his shop, and just want to thank him again for his time yesterday. But we're not hanging out there long because we are westbound and down to Panama City to look at the stomping grounds that Rich used to cruise around in the car. We are literally in the midst of the big trip.
This is what, day what?
For me, it's almost day 7. But in Florida, we got here Sunday night.
Yeah, so
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday
now. Day 3 in Florida.
We're done with Tallahassee. We're heading to Panama City. We're going to meet with Wayne Beach today. Wayne Beach is the cousin of Louie, who was the second owner. He's excited to see the car. And then ultimately, we're ending up at Rich and Kenny's parents' house north of Panama City. And the car's going back in the workshop. The homeowner there is going to be hosting us tomorrow. This gentleman in front of us is Mr. Wayne Beach. Wayne Beach is the gentleman that I contacted to get a hold of Louie Childers, who was the second owner. Lou's the gentleman who bought the car at Talahassee Ford, where Jeff traded it in, and he drove it the same route we just took. You might have seen on some of the video that the highway we just took, Highway 20, west out of Tallahassee, gets you to Panama City. So, Mr. Beach is taking us to the location that was the family homestead, as they call it. And this is the actual beach house that lended ourselves to the confusion of, are we near the beach? No, it was the beach house because it's their last name. And there's the church. There's Bear Creek Church. Kendrick Myers' tow receipt. Well, maybe we'll put a picture of that, Joe. Kendrick Myers' tow receipt says Bear Creek Church, North Bear Creek Road, first house on the left. Wow, we're here. There's that place with the pillars, Joe. Yeah. This right here is going to be Ed Lee Road. That's your seatbelt thing dinging. Ed Lee Road, and this is it.
So
We thought it would have been there.
Right.
We thought maybe it would have been there, but now he says he's going to tell us where this is it. This is the house. This was the beach house. This is the beach house. This is the homestead house that they refer to it as. The car was broken down and stored here at this location. And you said, no, it was up in my parents' house, and it was stored here. I guess he was sick back then.
My father used to fish a lot, and I remember Bear Creek.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one, my daddy built one back there. This guy, I swore down, said, right where that shed sits at. That car sat under that shed.
Wow.
That car was in that shed.
It was underneath the one that was there prior to that.
Okay, but in that location.
Right there in that location.
So then from here, and the invoice that I have, the actual invoice, is dated May 26th of 71. It was towed from here to Kendrick Myers, and that's where he traded it in.
Yeah.
I bought that, I guess it was a green GTO, he said. Yeah, and he never saw the car again. From that location, it went to a used car lot across from Bay High School. And that's where this man bought it.
Probably Rodham Brothers.
Rodham!
Rodham Brothers.
yes!
See, I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
58. I'm still
I'm,
old.
se- I'm
I'm
70.
70,
I'll be
I'm
70.
73, so don't say you're old.
71. Were you 70?
70, yeah.
73?
73.
78.
We're like 3 times his age.
The name of the business was
Rodham.
Brothers.
R-O-D-H-A-M.
They both passed away. Both of them got cancer, and one of his daughters passed away.
Wow.
And this was, when did they have the business?
Yeah, I was in
70s.
the 70s, yeah.
My
Gotta be in the
wife was a
70s.
good friend with their daughter.
Oh, okay. And they're all gone.
They all died.
Okay.
Because now it's a parking lot, it's an overflow parking for Bay High.
So it was Rodham Brothers.
Rodham Brothers,
Well,
yeah.
that answers another little thing. Oh, I thought I had asked you that, but I guess I had never
Yeah,
asked
because I thought it was like Bay Motors or something like that.
If you would have told me where it was at, I could have
you. What was it? What was the Harrison and
13th Street.
Harrison and 13th?
Yeah. That was Kendrick Myers. When they quit making those mobiles, Kendrick Myers sold out. Sold everything they had.
Okay. What year did you build this house?
This house was built in 58, I believe, 57 maybe.
Okay.
57, 58.
So when Louie had the car in Tallahassee, he lived in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
So he bought it after his third tour of Vietnam. And he tells me he had a black 68 442.
He probably did, but I don't remember it.
Okay. Well, he told me that when we finally connected, because, and again, we should have gotten, I don't know why I didn't think of getting a hold of Marion. It was Marion Gay is his name.
Yeah.
Chops.
We call him Chops.
Yeah, he said, tell him Chops told you to
He's
call.
55 right now.
So, and that's how old he is?
Chops is pretty old.
No, that's not old.
He owns all that.
Well, because I was looking for the geographic location of the first house on the left past the church.
Yeah,
But now the first house on the left is different because they put houses in there.
yeah.
What's the property across from the church that had the white pillars that just go to the field?
I think they were going to build a house in there, and
It never
I'm not
happened.
Sure, I think foreclosed on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been the first house on the left,
Right.
and then the house is gone, right?
Yep.
So I had no idea where it was. And now with the advent of Google Earth, I cold called the most local business I could find. It was C&D Farm. And I called and I said, I gotta hit you with the strangest question you're gonna get all day. And this guy, Marion Gay, AKA Chops, he said, hit me with it. What do you got? So I said,
Crazy, y'all.
I got this gold Oldsmobile that was towed by the Bear Creek Church, beach house, and he said the same thing. We're nowhere near the beach. Oh, he's the one that said that. We're nowhere near the beach. I said, well, it says right here, North Bear Creek Road, Bear Creek Church, the beach house. And he said, oh, well, the beaches, they lived up the road. And that's how I learned that the beach was the last name, not a location, you know.
Right.
So he said, I'll get you Wayne Beach's number. So I called you and I left a
He
message.
knows it. His wife.
And
got
I
it.
called you again. And man, oh man, we're having dinner and the phone rings and I thought, oh man, I gotta get this. And then even then you said, well, I never had a car like that. I never had an Oldsmobile. Because we didn't know that it was Louie's car.
Yeah.
I thought when you were going to call me, you were going to say.
When you told me what it was, I knew who it was.
And you said, well, my cousin Lou, he had an Oldsmobile, but it wasn't a regular Oldsmobile. I said, what kind of Oldsmobile was it? And he said, it was the W31. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
That's how the
You run away.
conversation, it just went on. And it had, you said it had the 4-speed, and you gave me Louie's number.
Yeah.
And I called him one day, and I said, Louie, you got time? And he said, I hear you got my car. I said, well, because I guess you had sent him a photograph.
I told him, talked to him.
Oh, isn't that cool?
I told him, I said,
Wow.
he's gonna be calling you because he told me he was.
Yep. And I called him, and he said, I'm just sitting on the dock fishing. I got nothing but time.
He
So
said,
we talked several.
My sister's dock. My sister had a big house on Lake Talahassee. You know where it's at.
Yep, I do, yeah.
She was on the Quincy side.
Oh, okay, yep.
And,
My father used to fish up there.
Is that where he was living when he passed? Was in Quincy?
Yeah, he was living in Quincy, but he was living with his mom and daddy, and his mom and daddy both had died, and he stayed in their house.
So did he had the car, and you guys were saying you had a place in Alabama?
I got a place.
And you and Louie were living there together?
We were living up there. His mom and daddy lived up there for a while, and my sister was living up there.
Okay. Was he, so he was living in Tallahassee, and he simply stored the car here because he told me he had pneumonia.
Yeah, what he done, he come here to stay with my mom and daddy for about 3 weeks. And me and him, I was living in town. And me and him, I'd come up and get him, we'd go all over the place. But
Okay.
he came back and wanted to get this car. Wanted to get the car, and had it, no he didn't, he had it towed down there. Somebody pulled it down there for him on a rollback.
Mm-hmm.
And he never come back and got. I didn't know he'd come back and trade it. I forgot about that GTO he was trading
Yeah.
for.
Oh, wow.
He had the car advertised, so he was still living in Tallahassee,
Yeah,
and it was here.
he was living with his mom and daddy in Talahassee, but
The car.
my mom and daddy, he come over here and stayed with him because I was staying with him too.
Okay.
And
Right. So he had the car advertised
yeah,
in the Tallahassee Democrat newspaper,
right.
and I have a copy of that ad.
Maybe.
And it says it had a radio, which it doesn't have now, and it had a heater, and it was a W31 F85, and I think the price was $2,800 or something he had on it. So it was in the newspaper there. Evidently somebody responded to the ad, and he came over here to start the car up and get it ready to show this person who wanted to buy it, and he couldn't get it to start. And he burned the starter up, and that's when he said, well, the heck with it, and he had it towed to the dealer, and he actually told me, he said, you know what? I paid the bill, I think it was $86, I'll show you the receipt. He said, I paid the bill, and I said to myself, if this car is gonna start giving me fits, I don't wanna be bothered with it. And they had just taken a GTO in on trade. I don't remember what year he said the GTO was. And he said it was a green GTO, and I said, you know what? I'll trade the Oldsmobile in, the W31, and I'll buy the GTO. And he said he never saw the W31 again.
Yeah.
And then again, from there it went to the parking lot that you just said. What was the last name again?
What they
Rodham,
done, Kendrick,
R-O-D-H-A-M.
they probably bought that car,
Yeah, yep.
traded, and then they traded that guy, Rodham Brothers.
Yeah.
So they were always selling cars.
Okay, so Rodham Brothers owned that lot, and then that's where he bought the car.
That's right.
So Lou had the car for about a year
Yeah.
or so. So it was traded in sometime about May of '70 when Jeff graduated.
Let me tell you a story about that car.
Yeah.
We were coming out of Bainbridge, Georgia, on Highway 27 going north.
I know that, yeah.
On a big old, it wasn't an Oldsmobile, but it was a big one, one of them big long ones. And that car would haul buggy now.
Mm-hmm.
That car would move
This is a common
up
theme you
to
do
about
know, right?
135.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we
With
pulled
drum
up red
brakes.
light, and he said, "You want to race?" Yeah. Well, we run off and left him part of the church up there. Just could see their headlights. Directly, here they come. That Oldsmobile got rolling and it rolled right on up there.
Yeah.
He said, "How in the hell are they outrunning us?" I said, "The Oldsmobile run on top of him, buddy."
Yeah. So whatever it was, like a '98 or.
That W31 was screaming.
Yep. Oh, it's green.
Yeah. So
You know,
run.
so originally it had 342 gears. It's got 391s in it now.
Yeah, 390s.
Yeah. It is better around town, but I can see like up in Tallahassee, 391s would have been fine because it's all stop and go, stop and go.
Sure.
But out this way,
Oh, yeah.
Right in that driveway, right there, many nights.
what year Chevelle was that?
69.
Ah, there you go. That
I
was
used to, when I had
you had a
the,
396 in it?
There you go.
When I was,
Yeah. That was a thing. The 4-bolt mains were.
So that was a
hard to find.
350 or 375 horse?
350 horse
You know,
minimum.
that's some horsepower.
Yeah, well there was 3 horsepowers for the 396.
I'm just leaning
Well,
back.
4-speed, right? Because the
I,
325 was automatic only.
I bought that sucker in Auburn, Alabama. And I paid $2,800.
Well, 35.
Oh,
325.
I'm telling you, they were some cars,
Church
man.
group of young people going to Washington that he borrowed it. And what I done, I changed the cam in it, but I didn't change the valve springs.
Oh.
They were coming back somewhere over in North Georgia, and it dropped the valve spring.
And you used to tangle with Louie with the W31 and the Chevelle.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
There you go. Chevelle beat that 31. Huh?
That Chevelle had a automatic shift.
Now Louie told me that Chevelle could not deal with the W31.
It would.
See, this is bench racing.
Louie told me for sure. He said, "Dak, my cousin's Chevelle could not deal with that W31."
Break
Let me tell you
last.
about that Chevelle. I left Auburn, Alabama at 2 o'clock. And at 4:20 I pulled up right here. And
About
it was
tank you
Christmas
get.
Eve. You know how many cars I passed? I passed 2 cars and 5 coming toward me.
That was it.
Yeah, back in, yeah, you see
Christmas
that?
Eve. Everybody was home in bed waiting.
No snow on the road then.
No,
Yeah.
everybody waiting on Santa Claus.
Well, you want to pull this car out of the trailer?
Yeah, let's put it on.
We're here. We're on North Bear Creek Road. We are here where Louie Childers stored the car. We're about to unload this W31. So Mr. Wayne Beach, the gentleman in the suspenders, can see this car for the first time in a very long time. Keep it running, bro. Joe's gonna drive this car up here for Mr. Beach to see. When was the last time you saw this car? 1971.
Last time I seen you parked under that shed back there.
Oh, last time you saw it was before it got towed. So you saw it before May 26th of 71.
There it is. That's it, yeah.
There it is. It's parked in front of the infamous beach house. It was parked in that shed and towed out of here on May 26th of 71. When it left this property, it left the hands of this family. Remember, Lou bought it at Tallahassee Ford when it was traded in. He bought it after his 3rd tour of Vietnam, after Jeff had traded the car in 1970. Louie Childers bought the car in 70, owned it until 71. It was stored here at his grandmother's house. And when he traded the car in on May 26th of 71, he had it towed. When he traded the car in at Kendrick Oldsmobile in Panama City, bought that green GTO, he never saw it again. And here it is, back to where it was towed from, North Bear Creek Road. And from there, it left the hands of the Beach/Childers family. September 26th of 70, when he first put the ad in the paper. So, well, now that's when he sent it to me. Because this was already done by May of 71. He had sold the car. So somebody found this for me. This is the receipt that did it. Because I had no idea. For 30 years I had this car. I thought he was the second owner. I had no idea that Louie Childers or any other owner existed, except when I talked to the original owner, he insisted. I traded that car in 70 because my Ford van was a 1970. And I graduated high school in 70 and I left Tallahassee. He insisted I bought it in 71. I insist it was 71. And I thought, well, if you're off 6 months and you're off 6 months, there's a year. But neither one of them would waver. 70 and 71. I said, well, what the hell's going on? Now, I have the license plate number that was on the original bill of sale. It does not match this license plate number.
Yeah.
This is May 26th of 71, prior to him buying it.
Yeah.
So here it is, wrecker service. Turn at Bear Creek Church, first house on the left at Beach House. So when I called C&D Farm and I read this to him, and if you'll notice, 69 Olds W31. The thing that threw me is they tried to use the last name that was on the protector plate. Leckinger is the original owner's last name. They didn't have Childers on here, unless that rings a bell, but Leckinger is the original owner's last name. That's what reads on the protector plate.
Yeah.
So I always thought, well, the original owner, but he said, I was in Tallahassee. I came to Panama City to visit. So when I called Chops, by cold calling a business in the area, something that was here a long time, and he said, oh,
Chops come here after we did, a long time after we did. His uncle owned that farm there, and he bought it from him.
Oh, so
But
he
we
was
were
here after.
No, we was here before.
Right, he was here after, yeah.
Right.
And that's when he said, I know Wayne Beach. And then Wayne Beach, of course, knew Louie Childers. And that's where he verified, yes, I did have this car. Yes, I did trade it in at Kendrick Oldsmobile after $87.63 was paid to get the carburetor rebuilt and the starter rebuilt. This is the only piece of paperwork I own that has to pertain to your cousin Louie. He is the one that put the Dragmaster wheels on it that were on it when you bought it.
I had mag wheels on when I bought it.
Yeah, because Louie's the
The
one who put them on.
American
Yeah.
Yep.
American Racing.
And he bought them out of the
And I
J.C.
bought
Whitney
those
catalog.
wheels and put them on. Yeah.
Yeah, he bought the wheels out of the J.C. Whitney catalog. And I said, where are the original rally wheels? And he said, well, would you believe that they had the same bolt pattern as some swamp Jeep, swamp buggy that we built?
So used it.
I said, so you're telling me my original rally wheels? He said, yep, they're on swamp. They're gone. They're gone. I used the mag wheels the whole time. So we just left for, albeit brief but very informative and very nice meeting with Mr. Wayne Beach. Mr. Wayne Beach informed us that last time he saw that car was when it was parked right in that shed, or where that new shed is. And he hadn't seen the car since. And without that little nugget of information on the receipt that I still had, miracle that that receipt survived the whole time Rich owned the car. Without that receipt telling me that the car was towed past the Bear Creek Church, first house on the left, Beach House. This is it. This is where the car was towed from, towed to Kendrick Oldsmobile. This is a big pivotal point for me because it was years that I thought Rich was the second owner. And it wasn't until I had the gumption, I guess I'd say, to Google Earth that geographic location to find out why the car was towed from there. Did somebody have a party and a friend of theirs leave the car there? Did Rich get the car towed and forgot about it? You know, I had no idea what to expect once I researched or began to research the Bear Creek Church Beach House topic. Courtyard Marriott at Panama City, giving us VIP treatment. We're honing off the trip to trailer for it. But we're gonna take the car out for a ride. Rich is gonna take us now. This is the Rich show now. Rich, Ken, and Joe and I are gonna take the car out cruising. Let's hope it doesn't rain, because then I'll be freaking out. We're gonna go cruising and see some spots. Ideally, the lot where the car was bought. All right, Joe Duke is getting in the car. He got in through the window. We're taking this car out cruising Panama City for a little bit with the old fogies over there, Rich and Ken. And they're gonna show us around Panama City a little bit. We're gonna pull it out front of the hotel though first, right?
All right, here we go.
Fire in the hole. Rev it up a little bit, man. Thank God. They're taking great care of us. Look at the VIP parking they got us in. Nobody can go near the ring. So big kudos to Scott for that, because without that, we would have been playing musical parking spots, which, you know, does not make me happy. So, all right, let's go cruising before the rain. Thanks again, Scott and Eric. We're going to Marriott. See you in the morning.
Here?
Pickle lane.
Left lane. You want the left lane. So when you come down here, this is the Panama City Mall. This got wiped out with one of the hurricanes. It's a shell of what it was. After the traffic light, where you see Hobby Lobby, that was the junkyard we used to live in. You know?
Is that the junkyard that you got this block from?
Yes. No. Make a left here. That'll work. Make a left here.
Ken, you're in this car for the first time in 35 years.
Yeah, I know it. In the back seat too.
Bay Ram is coming up next.
Bay Ram will pull in the parking lot. That's it right there.
Okay.
That was the old Ford dealer.
No, this was
Okay,
Kendrick.
Kendrick Myers. Pull out where that silver car's going.
Yeah, because there's water here.
That's where we used to go in. Well, right here.
I go right here?
Actually. Right here, yes. And the service and parts department is right down here. Going.
We're just gonna, like we own the joint.
There you go. There you go.
We are now at the location that was Kendrick Myers' Oldsmobile back years and years ago. And this is the location that the car got towed to when it got towed from North Bear Creek Road. It got towed here for the carburetor and starter situation that Lou had a problem with. And from here, when he came to pay the bill, he simply traded it in on a GTO at Kendrick Myers Oldsmobile. And Kendrick Myers Oldsmobile is actually where Rich used to come and get his parts for the car.
It's special order parts.
Special order parts.
This was the parts department that I never.
Ronnie and Michael over here at Bay Ram, they were so impressed with the car. They came out and got their pictures taken. But Rich is telling us that back here was the parts department. And this is where he and this W31 lived, relatively speaking. And I have some receipts to attest to that fact. But it's really, really, really something to be here. Yeah, bring it. It's really something to be here where Rich used to hang out with this car, cruise around Panama City, and have to purchase countless parts.
Well, hangout was a good word for it, because there were car guys here. Here at McDonald's, you hang out.
Right. This is great. This is great.
Because Kendrick Motors did something, went out of business, guy died or something, and they went out of business.
Yeah.
But
and I guess what
this, and there used to be the glass windows. Yep. The glass windows and the doors right there. That was the parts counter.
you never worked here. You just bought parts here.
I
have a lot of receipts for
I
this
was
place.
going to use this place as my sponsor for General Motors Institute in Michigan.
Okay.
And then the draft number came up, getting in trouble and stuff like that.
So what is, when you say that for the General Motors
Institute.
Yeah.
It's now Kettering. General Motors had their own college for its engineers.
Right. Okay. So
And that was
you were
GMI.
going to go there.
Oh yeah. I wanted to be an automotive engineer.
So there's that
theory
Michigan.
back then-
There's that Michigan W31.
The state of Michigan, there was a bunch of engineers from Oldsmobile that had their own W31.
So these guys were at McCacken, the W30 in 18 when we were supposed to go.
Yeah, that would have been good.
They were there. Yeah.
Because I said, and it's funny because when I got my Malibu, which I turned me into a Ford owner, okay, and I got that car, and I'm having trouble with it. So I called my GM friends up in Lansing and he says, Rich, you don't understand. They're our enemy too. The Oldsmobile and Chevy crew, because again, there's always that jealousy between the 396s and the 442s.
I might.
Go figure.
A lot of tears.
We gotta delete that now.
No.
We can't put that in. We gotta delete that whole fucking scene. We gotta turn around, go do it again.
Put them on the roof. Put them on. Do we have duct tape? We go to the right, we're going to Lynn Haven. That's
Oh, so that's
Yeah,
when we
that's
leave tomorrow,
77.
we're gonna go that way.
this is
That's 77
the main
right there.
North-south road coming out of Panama City.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're going to go down to the next set of the lights, go back up 231. Then we'll go into Harrison Avenue, downtown. We'll go to the car lot and we'll put the car at.
Yeah, I want to see that
Yeah, so
in a big way.
You want to stay in a ring?
Yeah. Used to be a Western Sizzler right down here that my mom and dad used to
Right
go
across
to.
the tracks.
Yeah, that's
That
right.
blue roof.
Yeah, the blue roof one. That's
Whatever that
right.
building there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right on red is good.
Yes,
right on.
absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're going over to the.
Drive it like you stole
To the
it.
what?
There you go.
So you got a little bit of what you do.
Left lane?
Left lane, yeah.
I've been waiting 3 fucking days to go through the
Oh, I
fucking
know you have,
years,
yeah.
so I got the right audience with me. So.
Right road too. You're on the right road.
Yeah.
It was always going that way, going out of town. Because we would race from 15th Street, come down to the traffic light. We're going to be splitting that, and then we'd come up this way. And the street racing was traffic light to traffic light on 15th Street. And then this was the road race. After you found out that
Right.
and and this was opened up, and you lose the cops about 2 miles up the road. That's what kind of city you stand in. So we didn't have that.
This is Harrison Avenue. This is the infamous Harrison Avenue I've been looking at on Google Earth for friggin' 10 years or more.
I look at it, and all the stuff was gone.
I am literally like,
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
like looking at the beach house, like looking at, South Monroe Street. All of these places I've only ever looked at online because
Now you're here.
I had no access to look at them.
Sure.
Making this trip possible was important to me because, when are you going to do this again?
Because you see the fence? That's your parking lot.
Come on!
Right. And that was my 18th birthday with a 30 and a 15 zone. That cost me 6 months suspension. That crosswalk. Yeah, well, that's what, we,
I can go in here.
right where that Subaru is.
Oh, I'm going in.
Yeah.
Why? Because you blocked the crosswalk?
I know it's dusty, Joe, but we got to do this. This is it?
This is the spot, right like that.
This is where the car sat.
Yeah, where that, right at the corner. You got the spot.
Well, let's get out and take pictures.
This is where I bought the car. A place called Rodden Motors at the time. And it sat right here. We'll come out the front side, into the fence. And when I came up, I'm convinced the guy didn't know what it was. Because I knew what it was. Bumper, it sat just like this. Come up, looked at the car, and right where the center median is out there is where the little shed was. So they had like a shed that the
okay.
dealer
We'll insert
worked in.
that picture.
But it sat
Oh,
right
yeah.
here.
We'll insert that picture that I found at the dealership. It's an aerial photograph of Bay High School under construction.
With the building in the middle.
Yes.
With a little kiosk shed in there, yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
And, but it sat right here. And the fence was lower. The fence was probably about this high when it was done. But this is where I got the car. And this was all sand. It was a dirt street at the time. And when I was in high school, you see where the fence is down there on the left before the stadium? The stadium didn't exist. But that's where I used to park the car. Because it was easy access at the end of the day, getting in and out. And because my classes were in the back building. So you come out, you come right down the street, and you're out of here.
I see.
So,
Okay.
but it was all dirt. This is twice as wide.
That was a dirt road then?
This was, yeah,
Sand, yeah.
This was a dirt road also?
yes. All
So the
sand.
only pavement was
Right
actually
here.
Harrison Avenue.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Okay.
And and that building is new.
But obviously, if this was a used car lot, this is a student parking now. I think, where would you park the car?
Oh, I parked on the side of the street. Parked right on the side of the road.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd fight with people for that.
Yeah.
But and then if you go down to the next traffic light, there used to be a Hardee's in there. That's where we used to eat lunch.
Oh,
get
okay.
get out of school, we go across the street to Hardee's and eat there.
I remember.
Wow.
But
So this is it.
yeah, and like I said, I was telling earlier to Joe, this used to be the science building.
I'll find it.
This is the science building. So, but this is where I got the
Would
car.
be hard to find these things.
And right about in that spot.
So if we do the timeline here, simply put, it breaks down to 1451 South Monroe Street in Tallahassee is the selling dealer.
Yep.
Tallahassee Ford on Magnolia Drive in Tallahassee is where it was traded in.
Right.
From there, it gets brought to Kendrick Myers. No, from there it goes to ultimately to the beach house that we know of.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
Which we just visited, Wayne
Yes.
Beach.
Yes.
and his family home on North Bear Creek Road.
That's right.
From there, it gets towed to Kendrick Myers Oldsmobile,
Which we'll go to. When we're through here, we'll go up there.
and Kendrick Myers Oldsmobile, it then ends up in this lot
That's correct.
where you purchase it,
Yes.
and ultimately we're going to learn tomorrow, if not tonight, it goes to Lynn Haven.
That's right. Oh, sorry about that.
It goes to Lynn Haven. So we'll do a more cohesive list of where it's been. We might even type something up for the screen.
Sure.
But we're really kind of connecting the hopscotch dots. Because then I buy it from you in Marlboro, and that's the end of the story.
That's
Sure,
right. Right?
that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's closing.
All right. Well, this is
So
fantastic.
now, I was driving a 65 Impala at the time, but we would walk on the sidewalks going to class, spotted the car across the street, and my parents had Oldsmobiles, but I knew exactly what the car was. Came over, didn't let the guy know what it was, and he obviously didn't know what it was.
But your dad had a '69 Cutlass convertible.
Oh, and later on,
So how did you know what this was? How did you know?
I'm a car guy.
Yeah. So nobody had an
Yeah.
Oldsmobile yet.
No.
My parents had the
Buick.
they had the '69 Oldsmobile. They had the Delta 88.
Oh, they did. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
And so I was familiar with the Oldsmobiles.
And they bought that new.
Brand
Yes,
new.
that
yes.
was bought new in that
67.
was Halstead Oldsmobile in Poughkeepsie.
Yeah. My mom, they had a 65 Chevy. It was totaled out in Beacon. They traded in and got this Oldsmobile with the 455 Delta 88 Custom Royale.
So what was that? A '68?
69.
69.
No, 69
No.
was
No.
He was
Delta
saying
Royale.
67,
Oh, yeah,
which
yeah,
would have been a
69.
425.
69. That's right.
69.
Yep, yep.
55.
Yep.
And my father almost tore up my license because I tried to race a GTO with it. That was going out towards Tyndall Air Force Base.
So you knew, you see the common denominator here? No, you can't drive it. So the Delta 88 turned you on to Oldsmobiles.
Yes.
Well, but you knew they were there because
Yeah.
again, you're following Marlins, Barracudas, Mustang.
Right.
You're following all the makes.
Right.
And
Okay.
things like that.
So
And-
you're driving the 65 Impala,
Yeah.
and you go to school one day,
I'm walking the sidewalk.
walking the sidewalk to go to school.
It was the narrow sidewalk up in front.
Okay.
Okay.
And?
spotted the car.
Right
It's like-
here?
Yep. It's like I gotta go there. I went home, talk to my father. You get upset if I need some money to borrow, stuff like that. And no, you're not.
So when you spotted the car, you first talked to your dad, or you came over and looked at it first?
Well, I looked at it first. 'Cause
Oh, you
I
did?
had all my ducks in a row before I talked to my
All right.
father.
So let's back up. You spot the car,
I spot the car.
and then what?
Well, then after school, I come over, look
So
around
you're
the car.
thinking about it all day long.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Talking to the guy, stuff like that. Well, son, be a nice car, blah blah blah, blah, And the trade-in, he wanted to give me some ridiculously low number for trade-in, so I sold it. I sold my Impala for $400 more than I paid for it because I did. You take care of it. So, and,
Do you remember exactly what you paid for this? I think we have it written down in that.
It's like $11.50 or $13.50, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
We have it in the sheet that
Yeah,
you wrote.
yeah, I saw that.
And the condition that it was in, I know we probably beat the horse to death here. It was not bone stock when you bought it.
That's correct. That's correct.
Right.
It had the Dragmaster 4 wheels on
Yep.
it, and it had the original. It had the original bench seat. It had the rubber mats. What else was it? stock
What
on?
shifter knob did it have on it?
It had a T handle.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And I
it was
still-
a T
We'll insert that. Well,
Yes.
the T handle that. Right.
I still have a version of that T
Yeah.
handle in my toolbox.
So
Let me
if
say
you
it all
remember
simply.
yesterday, I buy the car from you, it has a T handle.
Yes,
You buy the car from this lot, it has a T handle.
that's right.
I know Louie Childers, when I spoke to him, admits to putting the wheels on the car and some chrome things like voltage regulator cover,
Oh yeah.
horn relay
Yeah,
cover.
oh,
He
yeah,
had done that.
Yeah, that came out.
And he said there was a T-shifter handle on it.
Yep.
I can't remember if I put it on it or if it was on it when I bought it. But maybe I put it
They
on.
came with little white ball shifters.
Jeff
White or
says
black.
yesterday the shifter ball was always black.
Yep. That
Black or white?
Yeah,
they
black
could-
or
yeah.
white.
Yeah, it could
And
be
then
white.
Jeff said he was talking to his brother, and he said, I told Steve I never did anything to that car. And Jeff's brother said, didn't you put a T-shifter handle in it? So I excused myself a minute, and I went to the trailer, and I come out with the T-handle. And he said, where did you get that? Jeff said, and I said, from the car. When I bought it, it had it. When Rich bought it, it had it. Lou can't remember if He bought it, but he said he remembers only ever having a T-shifter. I might have put it on as soon as I bought it.
Sure. Well, the TM was a hot ticket.
Yeah,
That was-
so-
yeah.
It could be that Jeff Leckinger put that T-shifter handle on it between 69 and 70. And it was the only thing he did to leave his mark, and it's still here.
Good.
Isn't that
But
crazy?
I also have a spare. I got one in the toolbox.
Yeah, I have a
in my
spare
house.
too.
Yeah.
Because the threads on that one,
That's right,
somebody
of course.
power shifted it a couple times, I think, in the thread. It might have been you.
Oh yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
me.
it was me. It was me. That's right.
All right,
yeah.
so you see the car, you talk to the dude, and you make a deal. You pay 11 or 12.50
Yeah,
for it.
something like that, yeah.
You sell the Impala, and then
Yep.
the rest becomes
Becomes my daily driver.
the maybe minute, we're gonna call it.
Okay.
Right? You have the car from 71
To 88.
to October of 88. You buy it in June, end of May or June
Yep.
of
School's
71.
getting out. School's getting out.
What? Right, we'll have to look and see when the last day of school was, because I know
So it's May, June. It's mid-
May 26th it got towed to Kendrick Myers Oldsmobile. Got the starter and the.
It wasn't here long, because I walked that route every day in school.
So you think you saw it on the first day?
First couple of days, 'cause
Yeah.
stuff like that don't stick around.
Right.
Well, back then,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
you didn't stick around.
Well, fantastic. We're here. We're on the spot where you bought the thing.
And and again, there's a little shed right about where those parking things are.
They've obviously graded the parking lot and they've put
Yeah.
stone in here, so there's not even going to be a foundation remains. But
Right.
it was somewhere, I think, in like the back quadrant of the lot. And again, we have that aerial picture that we'll put. It was just a weird little shed
A little
roof building.
shed, yeah. You know, the guy had a desk in there and a glass, and how you doing there, buddy?
Yeah.
Typical used car.
What do
lot.
I got to do to put you in this car today?
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
There you go.
All right,
He didn't know what it was, but
He didn't know what it was.
no, he just thought it was Oldsmobile, F85, and I didn't.
So-
I didn't correct him. Rough
So-
running, it runs rough, son.
Lou claimed when I unfortunately, like I said, he has passed, but Lou is adamant that he knew exactly what it was.
Yo, yeah. I would doubt it.
He said he told me he
Again,
had
most of the good car guys knew.
well, he had a 68 442
Then he
triple
knows.
black in between some, one of his tours in Vietnam, but coming back from his third tour is when he bought this one, and he said to me that he told himself, if I don't buy myself another cool car, I'm going back and I'm not coming home.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
sideways for him.
Yeah,
So-
that's typical of the thought that we
Yeah,
have.
so he bought this car, and that's that. Unfortunately, we don't have any pictures of that either. He lost everything in a house fire.
But Wayne was saying too that he used to race Lou with Lou would drive. He would have the 396.
Yeah.
And he
Wayne
said the
did.
396 beat him, which, hey,
That's what he said. Now, Lou would tell me that Chevelle could not, as he says,
No.
the Chevelle could not deal with that Oldsmobile.
There was not an SS automatic that this thing couldn't beat. I mean, and you had to get up to 427, 454 territory before they got competitive.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, the hardest cars I had trouble with was Z28 Camaros, Duster 340s, TA Challengers. We used when we ran Hemis, we foul plugs in them. That's how you beat them. But
All right, let's keep cruising.
we got the McDonald's doesn't exist anymore, and that's the block where we used to start our races from on Fridays and Saturday nights.
Okay.
And any other racing we kind of arranged as it came along, after work, stuff like that. Well, Friday, Saturday night, this is where we went. And, right where that Star Motel is,
Yeah.
that was where the old
There was right here, probably. This was
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the McDonald's.
This looked like a McDonald's.
Yes, it is, and we used to back up against we would back in there if we wanted to race, and we pull in if we
man, we
wanted to eat.
should've
Oh wow.
Well, you pull in this parking lot.
Pull that. There you go.
How do we get in there?
Well,
Just turn around.
That's not
Go through. You go through. Go
through
right,
the back,
right in the block.
backside. See the backside, you can get out.
There you go. Oh yeah. You can tell this has been closed a while. This McDonald's. Got boards on the
McDonald's
drive-in.
went out of business. Who the hell would thought?
All right, so what would we do here?
You pull down, go down about 4 spots from the end and back in. You're ready to go.
Uh-huh.
Any one of these spots, just back it in.
Oh wow. This was your staging area. Is what it was.
Well, this is our hangout.
Oh.
People have, we come in to pick up, a couple beers in the truck, something like that. I never drive with this car.
Do you know how
This
many
is something I
times
never do.
as a kid, because you would tell me these stories, we'd back into the McDonald's and we'd wait to race.
Yep.
And you cruise by and you do the first third to make it look like a 3-speed.
Yep, exactly.
This is the spot.
This is the spot.
Do you know how many times as a kid I would fantasize about being there
You're
saying,
here.
man,
You're
I'm
here
at the
now.
wrong place.
You're here.
I was born in the wrong era, and I don't know what. And I'm
This is
here.
it. And we're staged. And again, if you pulled in, you wanted something to eat or hang out in front. If you're ready to roll, this is you backed in, and whoever backed in, you go over, talk to them, you make arrangements, and
Did you do it for registrations or just money?
no, just money. I would.
There you go. Yeah, I wouldn't do it for registrations.
I didn't trust the car that much for pink slips. You know, it broke enough, and I worked too damn hard to lose the car.
I don't know. You keep jinxing me. I trust the hell out of this car.
Yeah.
I'd drive it home if the truck broke down.
Okay.
There's the McDonald's, man.
Yep. Do you want?
Yeah,
You want to do a big burnout in the parking lot?
try it.
Bet you can. Where we going now?
Turn it right. Turn it right.
Yeah, I
Now-
dare
now-
you. Joe, I'm driving this car in this maniac's hometown.
Yep.
Unbelievable. I am like I'm like a little numb here.
This is how you come up through here. You're sitting at $2 grand. You sit 2,500, whatever. But you just roll up through here. It's nice, speedy.
See that? I don't want to encounter a big old mud puddle.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then this is 11th Street, and I used to work at what amounted to like a Kohl's or something like that down on 11th Street. I worked in a warehouse there.
And you had this car then?
Yes, I did. Yes, this car. This is Beck Avenue, and we'll go to.
Is this it right here?
Nope, go up to 390. The sign for 390
Oh, okay.
is the traffic light, and we're going to take this immediate right. The cop was where that truck was right about now, and of course he's got his lights on. He's trying to pull us over. We banged a right with the 66 Mustang.
Right here.
We went here. The cop went through there, missed the light bulb, and took out the oil stand at the first.
Really?
Yep. And 3 years later is when I got that ticket.
Wow.
At Bay High. They knew the car, they just couldn't catch us. Oh, there's a story to that too.
Hello, doggy.
Oh yeah. Now we're gonna run this is 390. This will take us up to Lynn Haven. We're gonna go by the airport and we're gonna switch off at Baldwin. And that was our quiet space to race. Nobody messed with us when we went out there. That's and again, the locals didn't race against each other very much because we knew what they could do and we respected each other's cars. But the tourists that come in, that was open season. And you ran into all kinds of guys trying to impress the girlfriends and and 6-cylinder Plymouth Dusters and stuff.
Right. Rally 350.
Yeah, Rally 350. Yeah. Well, no, we didn't get many Rally 350 because that was a pricey car. It was not a cheap.
It was supposed to be cheap.
Well, the rallies, the Buick rallies?
No, the
Oldsmobile.
Rally 350.
It was a $3,400 car, and you can get into a Duster for $2,700. So
Right.
again, those and the Novus, an SS Camaro was just as cheap, and again, far more popular.
You gotta miss a lot of dinner parties. You gotta piss your wife off a lot.
Lose a bunch
Unfortunately,
of girlfriends. Lose a bunch of girlfriends.
You gotta tell you gotta
Deb-
do things like you gotta tell your kids I can't make it.
Deb put a carburetor on a dining room table one day and says that was this week's groceries.
Well, like my father said, don't ever put paycheck money in it.
Yeah.
If you want it that bad, work a little harder on something else, make some side money. So what timing could you run in if you put
36 degrees advance to 2600. Yeah, I mean, you could really advance it, and those were those heavyweights that came in real fast, carburetor, but it smelled funny, and that's how tech inspection caught me.
Yeah.
It smelled funny. The dye, when it burns, it didn't smell right. And
But it stopped like Grand Prix again.
no, this was a run going home.
Okay.
This is trying to get away from them undetected. I'm going to get convicted on something here from your video. I know that.
Well, they're gonna be like, oh, finally we figured out what happened.
Yeah, right.
Haven.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how far it comes down now. Oh, you want to stay in this lane?
Stay in this lane?
Yeah. You go fast enough. See, none of this existed. This was all, palm trees. Not palm trees, but those damn white pines. The pulp mill pines. None of this existed. This light did not exist.
No, huh?
This was a straight shot in Lynn Haven. You cross the railroad tracks and there's your Lynn Haven cop. You wave to him because you know him.
Okay.
And,
So when you went to this high school,
Yep. Done.
You just drove this way.
Straight up and down, yeah. Yep. This is the route. It was just, pine trees. Pine trees.
Was this apartment complex thing
Nope,
here?
none of it. Waffle House didn't exist.
This was just pine trees.
Pine trees. Kind of like what 20 was. Only that is where we used the lifts all the time.
390.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay.
What do you want me to do?
That Walgreens, stay right in this lane.
Okay.
That Walgreens was the old standard gas station.
Oh, really?
Yes, that was the old gas station that we used to use at night to work on the cars because you had a lift. Okay?
We're tired, Joe. Aren't we tired?
Oh, yeah.
We're exhausted. This is like some of the best parking you can ask for at a hotel. Just go to a hotel, tow a trailer, and tell them you're on YouTube, and they do this kind of stuff for you. Car's back in the trailer. We drove it all around Panama City at freaking rush hour. That was a completely stressful thing. That was stressful. I was stressed. Joe was in the back seat with Crazy Ken.
No room.
No room.
These are my teeth.
But the car ran great. We got to see all kinds of cool stuff. We got to see Rich's high school. We got to see the parking spot that it was in at the dealership across from Bay High School that we've been talking about forever. Tomorrow morning, we are going to the house that Rich lived in when he was in high school and lived in when he owned the car. And we're going to meet with the owners of that house who actually bought it. His family bought it from Rich's family back in the 80s. The car is going to go back in that workshop if all goes well. And it's going to be another great little experience to see Rich with his high school car in the shop he worked on it in high school.
Really close out the whole story.
And then we're going to shift a major gear. And guess what we're going to start concentrating on after that? Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones. After that, the OG is going to have paid its due, and we'll stop rambling. We're going to go inside, and I'm going to have several cold ones. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.